to do that. But if you know how to do the balloons, it wasn't hearts. Yeah, he thought I was a little bit of a freak because it didn't make any sense. Why is Scott
that was weird.
Yeah, why is Scott
Did he
sending?
go, that was weird?
Yeah, he was like, that was creepy. I said, I'm sorry, I don't even know how I did that. I didn't even believe him until I saw it myself. So
There you go. All
Anyway,
right. Well,
so-
today,
yeah, what are we talking about today?
all right. Well, please join us. Join in. Any comments that you have,
Yeah,
questions,
keep 'em
suggestions, please keep them coming. We love it.
Yep.
But today we're going to talk about, actually this whole month, let's just kind of go back.
Yeah.
This whole month, what we've been talking about is debt.
Yeah.
But debt as it relates to how it impacts our relationships. Also, we've been featuring Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I am a stage 3 breast cancer survivor. I'm so thankful. Woot, woot, woot.
Been 8 years now?
Yes, 8 years. And but it impacted us in so many ways, and it impacted us on our money as well as lots of other things. So we always bring that into our
Yeah.
stories, don't we, honey?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, but especially this month, Breast Cancer Awareness, we're so thankful for all of the money that is going towards research.
Thank you, Susan G. Komen Foundation.
Yeah,
Love you guys.
Thank you. So we are super excited to talk today about something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but we know is so important. It's impacting hundreds and thousands of people. Do you know how many people, and the whole category is medical debt?
Yeah.
But
Oh.
we're going to give you some really great tips today, I think, because it impacts so many people. Do you know that that is the #1 reason for bankruptcies?
Is medical debt. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I mean, I'd love to sit here and say, I mean, we had United Healthcare. Huge shout out to United Healthcare. They took such great care of us
United.
during our cancer. I love United Healthcare. If they wouldn't have gotten yanked out of Colorado, I would have died with United Healthcare because of what they did and provided for my family and how great they were on the phone. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
It's the #1. And I think that's sometimes where we go when we hear of someone say, oh, I'm going bankrupt, we automatically go, oh, they lived at Nordstrom's, or they did this, they racked up all this crazy consumer debt, they bought a house they can afford. But the #1 cause is medical. And you can have all the emergency money you want, all the emergency plans.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Now
it can be
listen
gone.
to this stat, honey.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Medical debt is the #1 source of personal bankruptcy filings in the U.S. In 2014, 40% of Americans, 40% of you, goodness gracious, of Americans were hit with debt from a medical issue.
And think about that.
40%.
Think about how many of us are really healthy.
I know.
I mean, 40% of Americans.
That's nuts.
That's healthy people too, getting hit out of nowhere with like cancer,
Crazy.
broken arm. So Cade broke his pinky.
Yeah.
Broke his pinky.
Pinky.
That pinky cost us $1,200 to get fixed. Now, of course, I'm going to fix my kid's finger, but I wasn't expecting $1,200.
No,
to
it's
pay for a
just
pinky
nuts.
that week.
And you weren't even in there for very long.
No, I don't know. It was a pinky. Whatever.
It's like, do we have to fix it?
I'm like, can't we just tape that sucker? Can't we just this is coming from a guy that never lettered in the sport. Well, I did letter in tennis, but just keep it to yourself. Keep the comments to yourself.
Okay, I have to tell you a really sad story.
no.
So, Scott, basketball.
Oh,
Okay, so 14 kids tried out and 13 made it.
Daryl Bryant, are you out there?
It's the 14th.
Daryl Bryant beat me out. Daryl Bryant's a buddy of mine. He does a lot of great Facebook stuff. Daryl, if you're out there, I'm still mad at you about that.
But at any rate,
Yes, you were better than me. But I think I was more popular, and I should have gotten on the team. Just keeping it real, bro.
okay, so now on to medical debt. Okay, great. All right, so now we've had some pretty bad medical challenges.
We have.
And I counted the other day, I've had 14 surgeries.
She's been gutted like a
14.
fish.
I have been.
Is it okay to say that about your wife?
That's just kind of gross.
All right.
But listen to all these
Kinda feels
surgeries
that way,
that I've
though.
had. And I'll start at the top, all right?
Did you really think about all 14?
I did. But was it 12 or 14? Anyway, you guys can count if you want.
It was
but
way
anyway,
too many.
I've had surgery on my eyes. I've had surgery on my mouth. I've had surgery on my shoulder. I've had surgery on my thyroid. I've had surgery on both breasts. So that's 2.
Double mastectomy.
Double mastectomy. Okay. I've had surgery. I've had my ovaries out, my uterus out, my appendix out,
Your gallbladder.
my gallbladder out. I've had 2 knee surgeries.
Yeah, okay, so we're counting that one too. I'm up to 11.
Oh, was it 11?
It was 11.
It was 11. Gosh, I've had a lot of surgeries, so I understand medical expenses. I understand how they work, and I can understand they're so stressful. And it's so hard because it's like you get all these bills, and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
So I have a story about one of our bills. When I got the bill for the double mastectomy. Now, literally, United Healthcare, I talked to them every year.
Oh, I remember it was, I had my port put in.
Oh, yeah, your chemo port put in. That was nasty.
Yeah. Something else, too. Go ahead.
No, I lost my train of thought. Oh, the bill for her double mastectomy, $157,000.
Can you imagine?
Showed up in the mail.
Yeah.
$157,000. I freaked. I mean, I literally, United Healthcare was so great to us, and I'm just going to say that again, because they had a personal person on the phone that I could call every week and just go over the bills, because when, so many of you know this, when you're going through like a major medical situation, you're getting bills from oncology departments, radiology departments. I mean, at one point I was getting 6 to 10 different billings, and I just had no idea how to deal with those. And it's totally overwhelming, but it's how a lot of people go into debt. And luckily we didn't. Luckily we were kind of prepared in a lot of ways with our employer plan, but it doesn't surprise me all that 40% of Americans got slobber-knocked with this kind of hit.
Even when you have health insurance, when you have those big medical expenses, you have to pay these big deductibles and things like that. It adds up so much. And then you're sick one year, but then like if some of it carries over to the next year and you haven't taken care of your deductible yet, you're still paying high again.
Yeah.
And so you can have from like September to March, and it covers 2 years, and you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars. So it's just a huge
So
problem.
point number one
Okay.
is it's the number one reason. Medical expenses are the number one reason for bankruptcies, medical, and 40.
Yep.
Like, I love that stat.
Okay.
40% of
So
Americans.
point number 2, evaluate your health insurance. All right, we want to give you just a couple of things to think about, do some more research on, because we're seeing people really starting to analyze what are they really getting in their health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of things we want to point out to you. Actually, there's 3 things. First of all, lots and lots of employers now, and even self-insured people, are looking at HSA accounts instead of the traditional PPO, preferred, a provider kind of traditional health insurance. And the thing is that this HSA kind of account, just really, really quickly, high level, what it does is you pair it with a high deductible health insurance plan, and then the HSA is like money that you put away each month, kind of like a 401k, that is used just for medical expenses. If this isn't that high deductible healthcare plan isn't needed, then you start dipping into this money that you're putting away each month. The combination of the money that you're putting away each month and the high deductible plan doesn't cost as much as a traditional plan. So HSA, health savings account, something that's really coming up. We really want you to do the research. Don't just go, oh, I don't have the time to do the research. Do the research, because it could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. AARP actually has a really, really good calculator. So just type in AARP and then HSA versus traditional healthcare plan, and this calculator will come up, and it's actually really, really cool. I just looked at it. It was awesome. All right, so look at that. The 2 other things I want you to think about: flex savings accounts. Those are great, putting money away monthly, and then so cool now with the health savings accounts, in that you can actually, like a credit card, and the money goes in there, and then when you go to buy health kinds of things, you just buy it with that particular credit card or debit card, I should say. So
I want to read something, because this is why those health saving accounts are so important. It says, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistic reports, the consumer spending rose from 2.4. So our basic consumer spending rose 2.4%, hence inflation. But healthcare costs rose 6.2%.
6.2.
So 6.2% increase this year. That's a huge bump compared to where we're spending on everything else. So that's why those HSAs are so great. because they're going to help you kind of afford that cost.
Also, look and see if your employer has something called a flex spending account. That's for extra things. You can look into that as well. And then last but not least, long-term care.
Yeah.
The cheaper, the younger you are that you start it, we already started ours.
Yep.
The younger that you are you start it, the younger that, the less expensive that it's going to be. And this is for, long-term care is for when, and huge in the medical, when you lose 2 of your activities of daily living.
Yeah, you have.
Like you can't walk, you can't feed yourself. You lost 2, then it would kick in. And it's just an important coverage to look into, especially when it comes to medical expenses.
And if you get it right, and if you get it when you're younger, it's so much cheaper. I tell clients over 60, good luck. Yeah. It's just way too much. Hey, I want to read another stat because I thought that was really interesting.
You're into stats today.
I am. Well, you printed them off and I read them and I thought they were amazing. So I'm going to give credit where credit's due.
Thank you.
Annual healthcare costs for family of 4 is now at $25,826 is the average annual expense. I know for Beth and I've watched ours go over the last 5 years up to about $1,700 a month. So the numbers, that's just what I'm paying. That's not including my out-of-pocket expenses, my co-pays, anything like that. That's just for my base is $1,700 a month. So the fact the annual healthcare cost for a family of 4 is now $25,000. For a lot of us, it's getting close to our mortgage, for goodness sakes. Our mortgage and our healthcare, they're neck and neck right now. So it's just important that a couple things. I'd love this point number 2 about really evaluating your health insurance, because is there any way to bring that $25,826? I've done the research for us. The answer is no right now. But we're also getting pretty awesome coverage. So of course it's expensive.
Okay. All right. So our next point is don't neglect health care, your personal health care. In other words, if something is not feeling quite right, go right when you see a problem. Don't wait. How many times do you hear about, oh, I just wasn't feeling that good, and then all of a sudden it blows up into some super expensive pneumonia thing and you're in the hospital. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're looking at, we strongly suggest that the minute you start not feeling good, give it just a little bit, but get in there before it gets super expensive and you're having to buy 5 drugs instead of 1 drug or whatever.
That's why I go to the doctor for even a hangnail. I'm a hypochondriac. Absolutely. I am a hypochondriac. I go to the doctor all the time because I'll make the appointment a week out because I have a problem with my knee and I'm pretty convinced I had knee cancer. There is no such thing as knee cancer. I found out kind of the hard way. But the reality is, that's never going to happen to me.
If someone was going to have it, you would have it.
Right. I would have it, first of all. If there was such a thing, it would be me. And,
just yesterday we were in the airport. We were going to LA.
No, that was crazy with my foot.
It was kind of good. But, so he's walking, and his foot just gives out.
Okay, that's the weirdest thing. Is that part of getting old? If you're a runner, I run all the time. My outside, right under my that little ball thing, what is that thing, your ankle, heel, whatever, just started killing me, on the side of the foot under.
Hey, they can't see you.
All right, can't see me go like this. You know that round thing on the side of your foot? It was right under. Any runners out there, I literally almost fell over. I've never had that kind of pain. It went away. I will be making a doctor's appointment here shortly. So, because that can't happen again.
He's like, Dr. McVeigh. He's the foot doctor, right?
I'm calling Dr. McVeigh today and getting my foot checked out because something's wrong. And
shout out to Dr. McVeigh. We love
you did such a good job on our son.
Yeah, we did.
If you're in Colorado Springs and you need the best foot doctor, Dr. McVeigh, he's the man.
Okay, so the one last thing we want to talk about is hit your medical bills head on. Don't run away from them. Don't wait for them to call you. You call them. Super important. Let's just say that you have 5 different bills that you have to pay. If you proactively call them and tell them what your plan is going to be to pay them back, they will usually work with you.
Absolutely.
So we had to do that a little bit with our medical bill, especially during my breast cancer. We really strongly should be proactive with them instead of waiting for them. Don't put your head in the sand. No. Keep your head out of the sand. Make sure you're proactive with them.
Another suggestion is get your healthcare plan provider involved. If something doesn't look right, we got a bill for $400.
Yes.
And I was
just happened.
Beth, I know we paid that. And we got double. She goes, I don't think so. Well, we called Humana, who is our current provider. They're fine. We called Humana, and they were like, no, that's been paid. You shouldn't have to pay that. So they, sometimes these medical companies get behind. I mean, they just get behind. When Beth, she had a walking incident, little ankle issue, and we had to go to the emergency room that night at 2 a.m, which I was happy to take her 2 a.m.
He had a smile on his face.
I was not sleeping hard. Anyways, so we went to the ER at 2 a.m. to get her ankle looked at. That was like 4 months ago. We just got, did I tell you that? We just got a bill yesterday for what?
That's the thing. And sometimes you're like out of sight, out of mind. You're like, oh, well, whatever.
Because it's been, I don't know, 5 months,
Right.
and those bills show up. So just make sure if something doesn't look right, it doesn't smell right, and you're thinking, I already paid that, make sure you call your provider.
Yep.
Woo.
Whew. Covered
Well,
a lot
it's
there
Wednesday.
today.
Yeah, give me a high five.
All right.
All right, so hey, guess what? We love you guys.
Yeah, we do.
Welcome to being part of our community.
Yep.
Share this with your friends.
Yep.
There's a lot of, I know we kind of goof around and we try to make light of stuff, but the reality is medical bills are killing people. And, I mean, not literally, but financially they're killing people. And 40% of Americans, don't get into a fight about this.
No,
it's going to take some work.
Yep.
Your medical is going to take some work.
Yep.
And what it's going to require you to do is it's going to require that you do a little research.
That's right.
And it's going to require that you probably get your medical company involved. And if you can't afford to pay the bills, call them. They'll work with you because they'd rather get paid something than nothing.
That's right.
So anyways, this is Scott and Bethany Palmer, the Money Couple.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us for another Amazing Wealth Wednesday. And as always,
Make it
happen.